Well, the first thing is I think you mentioned to me once before, right? The smell. It's the
Smell,
same.
yes.
Yeah, it's the same smell. It was just, it probably took me until the second flight until I remember saying to you, I'm in heaven here. This is just, to be able to think that I'm flying this Hunter again at this stage of my life is just amazing. I didn't get to do a lot of the flying. The controls, of course, were very different. They were like an F-35, basically, on the right-hand side. And the instruments were all on that side. And actually, after the second flight, we had a big meeting of all the technical guys and everything. And I said to him, you've really got to be able to bring one of those instruments into front of this guy here, even though he's not operating the aircraft. If anything happened, there's no ways. I actually did one circuit, and it was really difficult to try and look across to the instruments which on the other panel, and to try and get the speeds and everything. So from that point of view, it was very different. But just sitting in there, having that noise, having that acceleration. It wasn't. I could, even though I hadn't flown a Hunter for 20 years, I could feel it wasn't the same thump we got out of the big engine one, but still it was the Hunter. And I was going to watch them coming in and doing go-rounds, and even it's just everyone used to come out and watch it. It's just a beautiful aeroplane to be around again. And that's why I said to you all the time, you see how many times I've flown this aeroplane, and it never get tired of it. It's just amazing aeroplane, absolutely amazing aeroplane. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still an absolute beauty. But I have seen like a few photos. I think I had the traditional round nose, but I've seen, I think, one or two photos with a sort of cone pointed nose. What's all that about?
Yes. I think that's what even now, I think he wants that. The guys, when they bought it, they put it on. I don't know the last time it flew. It came from Sweden. That's where it was. That's where he bought them. He bought two. He bought two T7s from Sweden, and the one's there as spare. And he put that nose in, and I believe he still wants that nose. I'm not convinced. I'm not sure of that, but the guys managed to get the old nose back on again, and it actually probably will stay. It depends on Giorgio himself how he wants to end up. I prefer it with the original nose personally.
Yes.
As opposed to the pointy one. Yeah. In fact, when I first got the photograph of the aircraft, this is before when they asked me to do the talk with them, way back in the beginning, that was a photo of the nose I saw. I'd actually envisaged going across to watch the first flight, would you believe it? Because I flew with the car, I still get cheap flights. So my friend Laura says that he said, yeah, come across, you can come and stay with me and watch the first flight. Never thinking that I'd actually be in the first flight.
Yeah, I mean, incredible, and yeah, I'm very jealous. I mean, that's an incredible. Like, you're never going to forget this experience, there, Steve. But one last question for me before we wrap up. Apologies. Did you ever get to hear the blue note on the Hunter again?
You remember not there, because that's only got two guns, and that I'm not sure that's not configured that way. They've got no guns or anything like that. But as I understand it, Mike, the blue note comes from the four guns.
Okay, right.
It's an organ pipe sound.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the right speed. The last time I heard one was actually at the Campbell in 2001 when there were 15.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And the Swiss are doing these very fancy maneuvers type of thing. And eventually, I think it was Whaley came across and his misdemeanor, but he got this, and the guy in front of me said, "That's what I came for." I wanted to hear that. Now, as I understand it, there were a couple of things that came out of it. Giorgio, when he first saw me, he'd seen my interview with yours or whatever it is. He said, "You flew the Mirror C," and I said, "Yes." He said, "I want one." Now I've looked for a while to see. There are a couple not available. There are a couple around, but the wonderful thing about it, if you manage to get one, is that Canadians will require that the pilot who's flown the Mirror C to sit in the back seat. What's going to happen? Another thing, when I got back from that flight, a chap who's got two Hunters in South Africa, the Swiss one single-seater and a two-seater, and suddenly he got hold of me. He said, "Listen, have you got an instructor rating on that thing?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm co-owned with another guy. He's a pilot. He owns an airline there, and he said he wants to learn to fly the Hunter. Would you be able to accommodate him?" I said, "Yes." So they're trying to get me a validation now. So once again, you never know, right? It keeps on going.
Absolutely.
It was nothing. Let's put it this way. I never felt anywhere out of the depth in any shape or form. And the way getting in the cockpit, getting out of the cockpit, moving in the cockpits, flying the aircraft. Nothing had felt uncomfortable. And in fact, as time went on, I felt more and more comfortable, if I could say that, more and more comfortable that I was where I should be type of. So I'd be happy to do it all over again, whatever, you know. So
Absolutely,
it's just a wonderful experience. Yeah, wonderful experience.